Hi, I'm Jeremy Stein at the Center for Holy Land Studies, and I have some fun artifacts to share with you today. Now, these are common artifacts that were found in everybody's houses back in the day. Why? Because you needed light. These are oil lamps. These were used day-to-day life to keep your house lit, to light your path as you walked, to light areas of the streets maybe. They were used for many, many different purposes. And here we have some different unique ones to kind of talk about and understand a little bit of life. We'll start with this one. This is a Herodian oil lamp. It's from around the time of Jesus. This was a very common, average, everyday oil lamp. But what was so unique about this is oftentimes when we look at them, we find the original ones, the earliest copies of these, were made around the area of Jerusalem. And what we find is as they were brought back to the north, they are coming with pilgrims who would go into the temple and they would worship there. Later on, we find an even greater connection with these type of oil lamps, which have menorahs on the top. Now, why menorahs? Think back to the time of the Old Testament. What was the central part of the worship in the temple? What was in the Holy of Holies? It was the Ark of the Covenant. It was the place where God's presence, his physical manifestation, the Shekinah glory, rested. But when Babylon sacks Jerusalem, the Ark disappears. We don't know where it went. Did it go down to Egypt? Did it get buried in Mount Nebo by Jeremiah? Did the Babylonians take it and melt it down? We don't know. But by the time of the second temple, the temple that Jesus worships in, the Holy of Holies is just an empty place. There is no ark. And therefore, the central image of the temple begins to shift into the menorah, the 7-branched candle stand that was central in the temple. And what we find as it starts appearing on lamps that would be used in the day-to-day homes and seeing lamps coming from Jerusalem, we find a connection being made inside Jewish literature of the idea of keeping the glory, the fire that was burning inside the temple, and bringing it into your own home. We see in some places the idea that the fire of the temple is lighting the home as the father is teaching his son the Torah. So that is the same fire, the same Spirit of God that dwells in the temple is dwelling among them. Now, even more uniquely as a fun lamp, this is a very, very strange looking lamp because of what it's made out of. These lamps here are made out of clay, but this one is not. This lamp is actually made out of a solid piece of stone. Why would they do this? If you look at it, it was obviously very, very difficult to carve out and to make. But the reality is that when we're looking at ritual purity inside the first century of the ancient Jewish world, clay, when it became impure, if I was ritually impure and I touched the clay, it became impure and it could no longer serve its purpose. I had to drill a hole in it or smash it and we lost the value of it. But stone, I could take it, bring it to a ritual immersion pool, dip it in, and it was ritually pure once more. And it wouldn't spread the impurity that a clay lamp would have. And so the stone vessels were incredibly, incredibly expensive. Now, this specific lamp has been analyzed, and certain commentators, specifically a good friend of mine named Leon Rittmeyer, took one look at it and said, this very, very well may be from the time of the Hasmoneans, the Maccabees, if you understand the Maccabean revolt, when the children of Israel, the Jewish people, led by Judas the Maccabee, Judas the Hasmonean, against their Greek overseers, because the Antiochus IV, the Antiochus Epiphanes, had incredible, incredible restrictions placed on the Jewish people. They could not study Torah. They could not circumcise their young. They could not celebrate the high holy days unto the penalty of death. And so Judaism, to a degree, goes into a level of hiding. And it's very possible that because this is so crudely made, it is made in this period while they are essentially warring against or about to war against the Greeks.